Up on Serendipity, pouring on Leafwood Hill, just west of the top of Hogback Mountain. That's where we live, love, and play, watching the clouds roll slow all day. Cold in the winter, frost on the ground, firewood crackling, that familiar sound. Mild in the spring and summer breeze, dogwoods bloom through the Georgia trees. Beautiful in the fall, oh, the colors run deep, golden hills and the valleys asleep. Every season's got a story to tell, life up here fits us well. Serendipity Point, where the good Lord shines, finding treasures you never set out to find. In the flora and fauna, in the morning light, finding joy in all things, making others' lives bright, making others' lives bright. Garden in the season, hands in the dirt, simple kind of living, blessings don't hurt. Tomatoes ripening and corn standing tall, we give thanks for every bit of it all. When the cold winds blow, we gather round, neighbors and kin, laughter in the sound, stories told by the fire's glow, the kind of warmth only country folks know. Serendipity Point, where the good Lord shines, finding treasures you never set out to find. In the flora and fauna, in the mountain air. Up on Serendipity, pouring on Leafwood Hill, just west of the top of Hogback Mountain. That's where we live, love, and play, watching the clouds roll slow all day. Cold in the winter, frost on the ground, firewood crackling, that familiar sound. Mild in the spring and summer breeze, dogwoods bloom through the Georgia trees. Beautiful in the fall, oh, the colors run deep, golden hills and the valleys asleep. Every season's got a story to tell, life up here fits us well. Serendipity Point, where the good Lord shines, finding treasures you never set out to find. In the flora and fauna, in the morning light, finding joy in all things, making others' lives bright, making others' lives bright.
All right. Here we are, another Thursday night and another Raven County Rag. Good evening, everybody. Let me get some of this music swapped out. See if I can get some background going. If that's too loud on the background, somebody send me a message if it's drowning me out or if it's confusing. I just like to have a little something going in the background while I talk to you. Want us to have a nice, pleasant evening together. All right. Good evening, friends and neighbors. Well, I finally got the grass cut. At least until next week. You know, I've come to realize that mowing grass around here isn't really a task you complete. It's more of a temporary agreement between you and nature. Nature usually wins. The garden's looking pretty good right now, though, I must say. The tomatoes are finally, looks like they've got their feet set in the soil and are growing fast enough that I'll need to get cages around them soon. Let me know how your tomatoes are doing. Send me a text, say hello, get involved with this conversation tonight. I got another batch of seedlings I've started that should be ready for transplanting in a few days, maybe a week or so. And the rain we just had certainly helped. I tell you what, you know, a few weeks ago we were talking about dry soil and wondering if we'd get enough moisture. Now the landscape is lush, green, and growing so fast it's hard to keep up with. But that's the thing about living here. The seasons don't really ask our permission. They simply arrive. Standing out in the yard this afternoon and this week, looking at the grass that needs mowing again, and the weeds that need pulling again, and the tomatoes needed tending again. You know, it occurred to me that we're entering a new rhythm. The rhythm of summer. Boy, here we are. Can you believe the year's getting by? Let's see. What is first day of summer is the 21st of June. Let me check my calendar. Yeah, looks like on Father's Day's first day of summer. And we got 17 more days till summer officially arrives. But we've been seeing the tourist season kick in pretty strong around here, and along with the rhythm of summer comes more regular grass mowing. I was talking to the wife the other night, and I said, I wonder how old I need to be to get a I wonder how old I need to be before I need to get a riding mower. I need to be pushing that more as long as I can and try and keep the exercise up. I went out in the garden today and got some poke plants up there and some of that purslane, I guess they call it, that lush green little leafy creeping thing. And I pulled a little bit of it, but I'm going to have to go out there probably tomorrow when I get through doing my regular walking thing and get back and maybe pull a few weeds, do a little hoeing before I do my video uploads. And I normally try to get done early on Fridays. You know, I still get up at 4:30 every day, 4 o'clock on Mondays, and come down here and get into the office and, you know, script some videos and try and make a little music. Maybe go in the shop and mess around, make a few phone calls, generate something, make something happen. But anyway, as we were talking about getting into the summer, another thing that in the rhythm is maintaining a road. I got a neighborhood road here. I guess it's 7/10 of a mile of a dirt road. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us up here in total on Leafwood Hill. That's what I call it. I call this place Serendipity Point. But anyway, I've got a tractor, so I try and get out there and do a little maintenance on it throughout the summer. And then come wintertime, October, November, I say, well, I hope it holds up through the spring. You know, I'll spend a couple days here and there on it just to get the ditches dressed up and pull up the gravel that has washed down the hill and get the washboarding out of it, clean up the ditches and that kind of thing, dig out the potholes, just regular little maintenance. So that one part of it now I don't maintenance, it's that asphalt, and I don't know what to do. You know, I've thrown some bags of asphalt in some of the potholes. They're not really potholes anymore, they're washouts. And I guess another neighbor has thrown in some concrete in a couple of them old washouts. Anyway, I'd imagine it's going to take a great deal, but we're going to have to coordinate on that, me and the rest of the neighbors, because I'll do the gravel. I've got the equipment, but I'm not breaking my back without some help on that other stuff. They going to have to pitch in somehow or another. But anyway, you know, the summer rhythm is tending the gardens, maybe fishing in the morning, walking in the morning, and long evenings on the porch. Weather's been kind of cool here the last few evenings. One evening I had to shut the door and put a sweatshirt on. It got so cold in the upstairs of the house. But like I said, the next major project for me is helping maintain our neighborhood road, because around here somebody's got to do it. There's another lesson mountain living teaches us. Communities survive because somebody shows up. But anyway, before we go any further tonight, let's remember why we gather. We're a community of like-minded people with common interest in hunting, fishing, protecting our community, our culture, families, and environment. We come here to exchange ideas, resources, and information. Yep, tonight we're going to talk about summer arriving and the responsibilities that come with it. Anyway, hunting, fishing, and outdoor report. For the hunting, we're in the transition season. The woods have entered that quiet period between major hunting seasons. See if I can get some of them pops out of this microphone, change the way I address it. But the woods have entered the quiet period between hunting season, major hunting season. But experienced outdoorsmen know that this may be the most important time of the year. Looking forward to the fall. And I know it's summer. We got 3 months, but as fast as spring went by, fall will be upon us in a very short order. Now's an excellent time for putting up your trail cameras, getting them placed in the right place, maybe a little food plot planning. If you've got a stand, time to do some stand maintenance. Improve access routes to your stand, habitat observation. Go out there and check the way. Make sure you got some good shooting lanes. If you need to knock down some stuff in shooting lanes, figure out which way the deer are tracking and running. I saw a turkey today. That reminds me. Was it today? What is today? Today's Thursday. Now, I saw a turkey yesterday afternoon, right after lunchtime. Yeah, right after lunchtime. But anyway, the deer are showing us exactly how. Hey, y'all, I got a call. Hello? 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 Oh, well. They didn't want to talk to me. I know it was a little spam caller. We was going to have some entertainment. I need to check, make sure I got that thing set up right. I guess the question is whether we're paying attention. Yeah, the deer show us. I see the deer. Me and the grandson were walking the other day and saw one cut across the corner. I had one over here on the, north side of the house the other evening. It looked like he was eating the wife's azaleas, and I've seen some footprints in the garden, and my the more mature corn was taking a beating out there. Devils. Heard some coyotes early this morning too. My wife said might have been chasing that goat that the neighbor down the road had been missing. But anyway, that's where we're at. The question is whether we're paying attention. Fishing report. It does continue to improve. I've seen a lot more people fishing, and I've seen a lot more activity. For the trout on the river, if you watch, you gotta, those trout are wary. You gotta be quiet and stay out of sight. They seem to be able to detect movement a lot better than some of the other species of fish. And terrestrial insects are becoming increasingly important. I saw something the other day, and if you're watching this or you catch it on a rerun, I saw a catawba tree leaning over a section of the Tallulah River. I didn't see any worm activity on it, but I'm sure they're building strength, and I'm sure it will be a worthwhile place to fish if you've got some woolly boogers or some artificial catawba worms tied up. You could get in there and be real productive. Might be some big fish in there. Now, it's an isolated portion of the stream. I can tell it doesn't get heavy fishing activity. So, I'm ought not tell nobody. I see if I can this cabinet right behind me is full of fly tying stuff. I could sit here one evening with you guys and tie a couple of catawba worms and then take them down there on that section of the river and see what we can make happen. Would y'all like to go fishing with me? Send me a message. Send me a chat. Say, hey, yeah, man, let's tie up some of them catawbas on the broadcast and take us fishing down there. Put on a GoPro and go down there and document what's going on. I think I might. It takes a lot of motivation. If you want to send me a chat and we get to pile up, I might tell you where that catawba tree is. One of you younger bucks out there, or a young lady, I don't make no difference to me. But for the trout, the higher elevation streams are producing the best action. Bass are starting to transition a little deeper during the afternoons. Topwater activity improving in the mornings and the evenings, and I've seen some activity along some windfalls and things like that in the rivers and in the lakes. So I'm sure there is plenty of opportunity. Box turtles are out. I've run across a couple box turtles, but I have only seen one water turtle in the lake so far, and they're normally piled out on a limb or on a windfall on this particular lake. But I expect to see that population come up and see them and more as the weather warms. They get up there and warm themselves. Anyway, summer fishing rewards those willing to adjust their schedules. Fish are telling us when to fish, and we have to listen. And I got to mention the brim. They look like they're still hot on the beds. I walked the other day and I witnessed several beds. They'll make those beds bigger and bigger in that guard fish. Somebody who knows something more about those sunfish, which one of them stands the guard on the nest? Is it the female or the male? I do notice the guard fishes, and I was just curious about that. I haven't seen much fry activity on the banks, which would cause the bass to kind of school up around there and do their thing, swimming by the shallows, trying to pick up a meal of minnows who ain't paying attention. I have noticed a couple river otters out there. You see their little backs swimming around when they're hunting around the edge of the lake, trying to find a fish that is not paying attention so they can grab them a quick meal. I've enjoyed watching that. But anyway, I think the fishing is starting to pick up pretty good. I need to get out there. I keep thinking about that trout almondine. I did get a call the other day. I haven't told anybody, but I may have to shoot out of town for a while. I hope it doesn't interfere with getting out the show. If somebody wants to step in, I'll sure give them the information. If they want to run this Rabun County rag on Thursday nights, I'll set them up. I'll even probably find a camera and a way to set them up, and I don't know, whatever we need to do to get them to run the show. I need all the help we can get. This is my vision, which is something I talk about on Nothing New this week. My vision is to make this a community program where we tune in just like an old-time radio show, man. Have guests on here, guest musicians, homesteaders, people, farmers talking about what they've grown, exchange, barter, exchange, talk about the seasons, talk about what we're doing to get ready for the seasons, having call-ins. I want to do all that stuff, and that's the vision I have. Now, YouTube is the only platform I'm on right now, and I have done some studies. I might put it on the Facebook for my local Facebook group, and if you will buy this and you know how to do that without too much trouble to broadcast on 2 platforms, I sure would appreciate any tutorial you can offer up. But anyway, right now I'm still developing how to put this thing together every week, and script writing and putting in some music in the background, and just trying to fill the 1 hour space. And who knows if we need to expand it or move it to a different day or add another day. This is, that's what we're here for. I did read something on the Facebook the other day. Someone says, well, how come we don't put on the county commission meetings or the football games on the live stream? And I piped in on the Facebook and I said, any volunteers? I have a little bit of expertise and some equipment. I'll be willing to get in there and aid that kind of thing. So I'm willing to do that kind of work, be a part of the community. But, if somebody's been around longer, has a contact in that, we'll get on it a lot quicker. And that's something to be thinking about for a future kind of work we do here at the Rabun County RAG. I want to make this a community, I don't know, like a community television thing where we get together and we talk about what we're doing. Anyway, that is the vision I have. Like I said, send me a chat and tell me what you think about that. Anyway, around the homestead, the work that never ends. And that is the truth. Every season has its own chores, don't it? Spring is planting, summer is maintaining. During the summer, that grass grows, the weed grows, the garden grows, everything grows, including the working list. Current priorities around many mountain homes is the garden support system. If you don't have a garden, get you a garden. I don't care if you just put some herbs in a 5-gallon bucket on your front porch and 1 or 2 tomato plants. There is nothing better than enjoying a tomato off your own vine. It ain't been picked in some foreign place and packaged and trucked and unpackaged and stacked. It hadn't been packed green to finish ripening on the way and gets to your table with a slightly different, other than homegrown flavor. Anyway, get you a garden. Get you a garden. A squash plant, it don't take all that much space and it don't take that much work. I got a pretty good sized garden, so it does take a little bit more work. And while you're doing your mowing schedule, cutting your grass or whatever, walk out there and pull a few weeds. Walk out there and get the hoe and hoe around and do that. And a lot of us up here, we're still kind of rural. We've got road maintenance to do, especially when we get those spring rains that come in and kind of wash out certain places. I got a place in the driveway that I keep gravel on. I'm going to have to drag that back up and get it reset. And then our little old community road out here, I'm going to be taking care of that. Now, I don't have any fences. I've been thinking about a fence. We had chickens at one time, and the wife got discouraged because something was getting in them. But I don't know. I don't know. If I can get a little extra income this year, I might go ahead and put up a chicken wire fence or a 2x2 or 1x2 inch goat fence or livestock fence or something like that, and fence in a good place. And we've got some electrical stuff, electrical fence stuff. Maybe we'll put something up and get back into that. And the equipment, I service that old lawnmower. Now I got something installed wrong, or a rod's control arm or something bent wrong way, and still having trouble. But once it gets started, I've had that darn thing 10 years. But I've been keeping it up and got the tractor serviced. It's not quite due for an oil service. I might go ahead and do the oil change anyway. But anyway, yeah, check the drainage after all the heavy rains. And the secret is not finishing the work. The secret is staying ahead of the dadgum stuff. Send me a message, send me a chat, and let me know what you got going on around your house. What kind of late springtime and summertime chores you have to do on a regular basis. I really would like to hear it. Got a garden? You got blueberries? I got some blueberries. My wife's got a hillside full of blackberries. We try to let them aid them along and keep the trees cut out of them so she can pick blackberries and make some of that good old blackberry jam. Boy, that blackberry jam is delicious when you put it on a biscuit on Saturday morning. Ooh, man, good Lord. Let me know what kind of jam you make. Anyway, now I'm a safety guy, and this week, and I think I talked about it last week, but it's a reminder. Summer hazards are arriving. Heat safety. Start hydrating before you're thirsty. Boy, I tell you what, ain't a prettier sight than me out there cutting that grass and the sweat just a rolling, and I look down on the front porch and my wife is standing there with a big old glass of water. Oh man, that is the best sight. She used to put ice in. I said, I really don't like ice, not when it's hot like this. But anyway, she's standing there with that big old glass of water, and I'm like, whoo, man, I haven't seen anything that pretty in a long time. If you make sure you got some light colored clothing and pace yourself during outdoor work. You ain't got to get it all done. I got a chair under I got one of them wraparound porches, and on the back side of the house, it's really some places I'd imagine are greater than 8 feet. Now I got a little old iron chair under there and a concrete block, and I'll be out there working in the garden, get winded and sweating. And I'll walk up under that porch. It's in the shade, and I'll sit there, and then before you know it, the old dove are lighting right there in front of me, and the squirrels will come poking around, and I'll just sit there and watch them and cool off, and then I'll stand up and they'll scatter, But anyway, and also if you're using any equipment as mowing and tractor work increases, watch them slopes. Boy, that old tractor I got, it ain't a big tractor, but it sure feels top heavy, and I have tipped it in a ditch one time and kind of got me worried. So I'm always cautious around that thing. And I think I've put a new blade on the lawnmower I've got, but first couple years around here, it was more of a bush hog than a lawnmower. But I got most of that whacked out, and every now and then I'm real careful. But anyway, sharp blades on your lawnmower is a good thing, but be aware of those hidden obstacles. Make sure you check the equipment before each use. Check the oil, check the coolant. And if you got gauges on your tractor, make sure you watch the oil pressure come up and watch that temperature gauge. And if you got a fuel gauge, watch that devil. You don't ever want to run a darn diesel motor out of fuel. They are hard to get going again. Once you run them out of fuel, sometimes it takes quite a bit of work. And if you're not sure exactly how to prime one, it could aggravate you even further. But anyway, just stay alert and be careful when you're working out there in the yard. Please. Well, look at that. It is almost 6:30. Can you believe it? Been digging this thing. Let me see if I can find something a little different to listen to. I just want to listen to something different. Let's try that. Let me turn it just a peck. All right. Weather, seasonal outlook. Summer. It's sure knocking on the door. You can feel it now. The atmosphere's starting to change. We're beginning to see warmer nights, increasing humidity, definitely. I'm sitting right here in this man cave at 44% humidity, and during the winter time it drops way down. I got some wood instruments, so I have to keep the temperature elevated. So I have to put in some heat, and I don't know what it is, but heat carries humidity. I can't let it get below about 65 down here, or the humidity gets too low, and I'm afraid it'll mess up my wooden instruments. Now, I'm not claiming that I'm an expert musician or nothing, but I do like to play my instrument. I pick at them. I practice. People say, "You play?" I say, "I practice." I do practice. And when you hear this music on here, it's where I've taken the mandolin or the 6-string guitar and picked out a couple lines, a couple chords, and ran it through one of them digitizers or AI deals, and kind of generate a little music to play on here. And the story behind that, I got a minute or two. I'll tell you about it. You know, I used to go on this website. I forget what it was called now, but you'd pay $10 a month, and then they would only let you post on one channel. Well, heck, I've got 4 channels, and I'm doing 2 live streams, and it seems like they were just waiting for me to start making some money so they could come back on me and say, hey, come on now, give us a share. Let us dip our beak. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. So I decided to just start piddling around and generate my own stuff and putting out there, so that I didn't have to worry about conflict down the road. You know, you reach a certain age, you ain't interested in no conflict. You're just interested in peace and quiet, and having good conversation with people without any trouble associated with it. So that's why you hear me talk about it. And this is just a little piece that you hear in the background that I did. I probably got enough music for a whole album. Let's see. There's Serendipity Point, Blue Morning, Rhododendron Morning, Appalachian Springtime, all kinds of stuff I put together. I've written some lyrics. Solitude is the recent one I did. So anyway, if you want to hear some of that stuff, you send me a chat, and heck, I'll send it to you. And I ain't interested in being a millionaire on none of the stuff. I just do it because it keeps my mind active, and it gives me something to share with you guys when I get on these live streams. Anyway, we were talking about weather, weren't we? That's another beauty about getting older. You just tend to wander off. He was in a hospital one time. Went to visit a cousin. He was sick, and took Dad. And he was, I guess, same age as Biden, 84, 85. He'll turn 87 at the end of this month. So he must have been 85 when we went to visit my sick cousin, and he decided he's just going to wait in the waiting room, put his feet up and take a nap or watch his phone or whatever he wanted to do. And I walked back in there to visit my cousin, and the nurse says, "Where's your daddy at?" I said, "I left him downstairs doing the Biden." I went, she goes, "You did?" I said, "Yeah, you'll be all right. I'll catch up with him in a couple of hours." And when I was laughing, she knew that then I was just kidding around. I wouldn't do my dad that way. But anyway, the long range outlook suggests fairly typical mountain summer developing. Warm to hot afternoons with pop-up storms and lush growth. I'll tell you what, I go for a walk, and in the wintertime, you could see out in the hills and you can see up the mountain where you're walking at. You can see everywhere. And the trail's nice and wide, but boy, when the summer and the spring gets here, it gets kind of thick. Let's start bushwhacking. I found an old long knife, a machete blade the other day on the road, and I've got it down here. It's in the truck. I figured I can clean it up and make me a new wood handle on it, and I can start bushwhacking some of them trails. But anyway, the growth is lush. It's really, really thickening up, and it's a beautiful. And you can stand here and look out the back here and look down in the woods, and it's nice and dark down in there. It's just the whole, everything is shaded, including parts of the garden, in that deep dark, shaded by that deep dark lush growth of trees and understory plantings. But anyway, and that means a lot of mowing. Right now I'm only to every other week. I imagine by the end of the summer that it probably might be to once a week or once every 10 days or something. But I can use the exercise. All right. It is gardening. We talked a little bit about it. Tomatoes are reminding me of something this week. Soon they'll need cages. I got a bunch of cages under the deck. I just have to go out there and drop them over the top of the plants and maybe pluck some of the suckers off. And I have some wooden stakes to help support them. Because you get them tomatoes, they get pretty big. They get top heavy, and they're coming out of those cages. They'll flop over and go out there and stand them back up. But I got some stakes. I can stake them down this year. But soon they'll need cages, not because they're weak, because they're growing. Boy, I got some tomato plants out there now that got stems on them big as my thumb. And I expect to see some blooms real soon. And after the blooms, it won't be long. We'll be harvesting some fruit off of them things. But same thing applies to gardens. Same thing applies to people. Anyway, growth does require support. That old grandboy of mine, he's growing getting his own mind too, From 0 to 5, they're pretty malleable. They're happy to just do anything. And now at 5, he's getting his own mind. I know he's driving his mom and dad crazy. He wants to argue about anything. His old daddy said, he was out in the yard and he said, Dad, what's that? He said, that's dry dog poo. He said, no, it ain't. A couple times back and forth. And his dad said, well, pick it up and see. And he picked it up and smelled it and throwed it down. He said, yeah, that's dog poo. I think that's fair. There ain't nothing wrong with that. And are telling him, don't be running downhill now. Don't be running downhill. You'll fall. I ain't going to fall. Crash. Knees skin up, elbows skin up. But anyway, the gardening priorities. Getting out there, install those tomato cage and continue succession planting. I don't know, man. It seems like squash and corn is getting eaten by something, and the squash is having a hard time, and I keep replanting and they'll get up and look like they're going to take off, and then all of a sudden, it might be some cutworm, it might be some bad, I'm glad I'm not having to make a living off of a garden. That's all I know. It just is something for an old man to do, I guess. I guess it's, it can't be moisture. Now it can be too much moisture. But too much moisture, then you get disease pressure. It's always something. But the main thing is just all I gotta do is just try and keep them mulched real well and stay ahead of the weed. Your summer garden. One thing it does is it does reward consistency. A little attention every day beats a marathon once a month. Now, if you're a working person, I understand that. Maybe instead of getting out there for 10 minutes a day, you might have to get out there an hour on a Saturday morning or a Sunday afternoon and tend to it. But it's just get out there and get after it, man. It's like me walking up that hill when I go for a walk. I look at them old side trails. I could start the path down the hill, and I keep saying, no, man, you're not out here to take the easy path. You're here to build endurance. You're here to build muscle strength. You're here to build your heart. You're here to commune with nature. You're here to have this peaceful time to walk and get your head in order. So don't be weak. Don't quit. That's the same with gardening. Just get out there and make yourself go do it. That's what you got to do. You got to do it. The old saying is a body in motion tends to stay in motion, and a body at rest tends to stay at rest. And a body at rest really is not the best way to go. You need to be in motion. Now, I'm not saying I'm a hustler. I get out there and hustle every day. I got old granddad bod, and that's fine. I get out of breath when I hump up the steps, and I'm humping up them 3 or 4 times a day. But anyway, let's move on to some local events and community notes. Before I do that, a portion of the show every week I like to dedicate to the marketplace. Call it the marketplace, where we can come here, just like Facebook. People's got stuff to sell. They list it all the time. And if you've got something you would like to get shed of and make it available to the community, all you got to do is send me a chat and I'll make mention to it, whether it's a piece of farming equipment or a old toaster. It don't matter to me. If you want to put it out there for trade or sale or whatever, I'll put it out there. And if you're looking for something like me, I'm looking for a broad fork, I'm looking for some mulch hay, and I'm looking for some manure. Preferably bovine manure, so that I can work up my compost, and maybe in another year or two, I'll be a little more successful at my gardening. So if you're looking for anything to buy, sell, or trade, go ahead and send me a chat, and I'll make sure to incorporate it into the live stream every Thursday. And we'll see if we can't move some stuff for those who want to get stuff moved, or if you're looking. I see people looking for gravel. I see people looking for fill. I see people looking or selling pants or farm implements, riding mowers, push mowers, everything else. You bring it here, and we'll see if we can't move it on for you or help you find what you're looking for. As far as other local events, state parks, Tallulah Gorge and Black Rock Mountain, they have guided hikes, waterfall programs, nature walks, birding activities, all kinds of things going on. One thing I have not done, and I've been trying to get in shape for it, is making that trek on that Tallulah Falls trail down to the falls, and I hadn't done it yet. If you've done that, let me know if you think an old fat white guy can make it down there and back up, and what kind of struggle I might have. I walk 3 miles 3 days a week. on a trail, a wooded trail 2 days a week. And then I go down to Tallulah and walk that old rail bed down there once a week. But I try and get in 3 miles every time I go, and I'm working on expanding it. I'd like to get up, right now, it used to take me hour and a half to cover that 3 miles. And it used to take me, for 3 miles, it'd take me an hour and 45 minutes. And now I'm just over an hour to walk that same 3 miles. So I'm improving the pace. The doctor keeps telling me I need to lose some weight, but I can't control my darn appetite. All this food laying around everywhere. But anyway, additional community events, farmer markets are open and expanding. They got local produce stands. Flea markets are great. That is the apex of small business people in my mind, going to a flea market. You can buy anything there that you may need. Either if you want a coal oil lamp for your barn, you can find one. If you want an anvil, you can find that. You want some bulk soap, you can find that. You can find all kinds of things at a flea market. And there's an outdoor flea market in Mount City. They're going another year. You got the indoor flea market right here in town. You've got Osage Vegetable Market up there just between Mountain City and Dillard. And then you've got all the shops in Dillard. You've got the farmers market here in Clayton. So you got, and this week is the Clayton Ramshackle. The roads will be closed, but there'll be all kinds of vendors there this weekend. And then I think the 4th of July, there's a road race or something like that over there on the mountains. All kinds of things going on. Anyway, make sure you get out. Make sure you're look around to see what's going on. I used to go out to eat a lot. I don't like to anymore. I like to stay home for decades. On the road, eating in restaurants, eating stuff that probably wasn't good for me. And now my body is, anyway, I'm trying to clean up my eating habits and exercise habits, but a lot of small businesses out there with good food, they'll serve you. I say get out there and enjoy it. All of a sudden, I got the darn belches and hiccups. All right. Granddaddy used to say mowing grass is proof that nature holds a grudge. You're living in the mountains when your summer exercise program is just keeping up with your property. Brother, ain't that the truth? And every Appalachian gardener eventually learns. Vegetables are optional. The weeds are committed. Anyway, looks like we're running out the clock here, and I'm running out of script. I need to come up with some stories or something. If I had some people in here to aggravate me, I could look at the Facebook and see what's going on. Let's see if I can find something here. I don't know what to do, man. Y'all help me out. Engage me. Hey. Gas is, looks like it might be coming down. Fella says he paid $3.49. Oh. Wow, $3.81, $3.49 down in Gainesville. Oh man, some of them folks down South Georgia, their old poke plants is coming in. What in the world was that? Did y'all hear that?
coffee that you wanted. Here you go.
Can y'all hear that?
You fucking kidding me? What?
I don't want to hear that. Somebody says, the more you need it, the more you can be sure that FedEx will screw it up. Never fails. Amen. Amen.
Hello, this is our first edition of Chicken Chat. Baron and Boo here. And our first breed that we are going to highlight is the black sex link.
I want to see. Hang on.
Let Boo talk about the crazy one first. Go ahead and tell us about her.
Okay, so this is Meredith. She's one of our craziest ones. She's kind of the leader of our flock.
Oh, it is coming
she's
through.
Very aggressive. She has really pretty brown eyes.
Talking about they chickens.
Really pretty brown eyes.
Streaming live on Fox 1.
Anyway, I was looking to see. Hello, everyone. It's Barbara. She lives in Clayton, Georgia. She's currently available for house cleaning, organizing, and babysitting services in Clayton and nearby areas. I don't know her well, but she is posted on the Facebook, Barbara Tavares. So check your Facebook listing. Might be somebody there that can help you out. Anyone know the drone service phone number for a lost dog? Freedom Drone Services. Huh. I'll be darned. I fly a drone. I ain't got no heat stuff on it, but I can fly a drone. I wonder what he charges. Huh. Check that out. If y'all need some drone services, I can do that. Or fly your fields, or I don't have the special imaging on it to tell you what's hot, what's not, what's thermal imaging. But if I fly your fields, you can see where you're getting too much water. If you're a farmer, you know by looking at an overhead. So if you need somebody to come fly your place, I'll make a deal with you. Anyway, I'm just flipping through here. Anybody have any silky hatchling eggs? Somebody looking for some hilt silkies. Diane Haggard. Check your Raven County Facebook page there if you're watching. Cowie gift shop.
Hey guys, John Kennedy here. Still, I go back.
And anybody got any recommendations on someone who could look at a Mercruise boat motor? If you know anything about a Mercruise boat motor, check your Facebook for Raven County bunch. Looking for a dependable car. I see this person quite a bit. Always looking for something. I don't know. You get my sister. Cross necklace made with nails. Here's a John Deere 1025R TLB. Looks like a little old tractor. Wow. $12,000. I need to call my sister. Is Ricky Gosnell. He's looking for some laying hens. If y'all got some laying hens, let me know and I'll get a message to him. If y'all got some laying hens. Anyway, that is what we got. All right. Okay, somebody else looking for a car? Somebody looking to buy some produce? Anybody? Does anyone by chance have any produce they want to get rid of? A truck for sale? Mountainside Creations. Advertising, they're showing a deck they just finished. I'm just reading through the Facebook here. There's a guy on here selling glass knobs for your counter, little pools. Antique green, vibrant green, faceted, rounded design, brass colored hardware. Yeah, fella got a Craftsman toolbox for. Looks like it's full of all kinds of tools too. Somebody looking for a body shop, scratches and paint. And here's a Denwood. I think he meant Kenwood. Well, maybe he meant Denwood. Well, a lot of people selling stuff. First of the month, I reckon. There's a dining table. If you're looking for a dining table, small dining table, a breakfast table used, but it's in good shape. They're downsizing. Men's Eddie Bauer woven tech shirt. What size is it? Becky's Treasures. I wonder what size it is. Oh, it's a medium. That won't fit my big butt. I need a large to XL. Anyway, boys and girls, we're winding her down. I tell you what, I have really enjoyed doing this tonight. Maybe next week I'll pull out the Facebook a little earlier. I'd like to, like I said earlier in the show, if you know anything about doing a dual stream using OBS, let me know. I might try that. But anyway, I'd like to do a couple shout outs. Folks who are out there maintaining small community roads. Lord, I'm going to have to do that. And I know what kind of work it is, but I appreciate anybody else out there doing it. And for those volunteers quietly helping neighbors, thank you. People taking care of things before they become problems. Thank you for getting out there. But before we go, send me a chat for next week. What kind of summer projects are you tackling? A garden? Are you doing some property improvement? How about fishing goals? What kind of goals you got for fishing? How about community projects? Are you a part of the community garden? Boy, they got a nice community garden here in Clayton. Are you a part of doing community service, working with the church or volunteer outfit? And what project have you been putting off that you know needs doing? I got some steps out here by the house I need to get done. Anyway, the rhythm continues. Let's close it this way tonight. Every season has its rhythm. Spring wakes things up. Summer asks us to tend to them. And somewhere in that rhythm, we find purpose. Not in grand accomplishments, but showing up. Pulling weeds, mowing grass, maintaining roads, helping neighbors. Doing the small things that keeps life moving forward. And through it all, we remember why we gather. We are a community of like-minded people with common interest in hunting, fishing, protecting our community, culture,